Welcome everybody to Carrara Indoor Stadium on the Gold Coast. As nothing but net media, the Australian Sports Network, Stream Team Australia, and of course Basketball Queensland present to you a QBL quarterfinal game of the week featuring the Gold Coast Rollers hosting the University of Sunshine Coast Rip City. I'm John Gorn. I've got former Seabowl All-Star and former QBL champion Dan George with me. I've got former Pirates head coach, coach, player, president, GM, done everything. I think he's even mopped the toilets over at Pirates, Dave Derwin. Got former QBL referee Regan Baker with me. Gents, quarterfinal time. I'm still pumped up after that women's game. That was such an awesome game and it's such an exciting finish. The energy in the crowd has not let down. This is going to be an awesome men's game here for us tonight also. You got the Rip and Gold Coast. Two teams that have met not all that long ago, and Rip actually came in and won that game here in Carrara in overtime. How much confidence does a win like that give to Rip coming in here into a quarterfinal?
I think it gives them plenty of confidence, and I think the great thing for them is they know how each other play, obviously, but it's going to be the tale of two styles tonight. If we look at the Gold Coast, when they have got some serious size compared to any team in the league, but especially compared to USC that have got Josh Tueta, and then it falls off Toby Zaremba, but obviously Gold Coast have a significant advantage, whereas Izzy, Tueta, Jamison, these guys are going to want to play up-tempo, I think. And so there's going to be a contrast with how these two teams play, but I'm sure Rip City, they're a 7 seed, but they come in here on the back of 4 or 5 great weeks of basketball, which kicked off on our broadcast in Toowoomba. They've come down and had a few wins here in the Gold Coast and at the Seahawks, and despite being a 7 seed, they're probably one of the most confident 7 seeds that we've had in recent years. So it's going to be a great match, 2 versus 7. It's far from an easy walk for the hosts tonight.
And Gold Coast has been super impressive this season. They put together a great roster. They're led by their import Spencer Parker, who in my opinion is certainly up there as an MVP candidate in the QBL. You got to think he's someone that Rip is going to want to try and slow down if they're going to win this game.
Yeah, and he certainly came on as the season developed as well, Johnny, but well supported. I think for me, this Gold Coast group has got experience galore. You know, you got the cool, calm Reese Martin at the point. You've got Anthony Petrie. You've got great guys like TJ Diop, Jared Eustace, and obviously Rose has been really handy too. I really like Rose. I think he's been I think you could probably demand a little bit more from Rose as well. But I just think they're a really, really solid group. Salicic has been good as well. So plenty of points in this Gold Coast team. I think they want to have a nice pace. And to Dan's point, you know, the Rip doesn't have the depth, so it'll be really interesting to see the contrast of how this plays out.
Starting fives tonight for the visiting Rip. You've got Izzy Tueta, Jalen Bradley, Louis Hilton, Josh Tueta, and Jaron Jamison. For the host Gold Coast, you got Spencer Parker, LJ Rose, TJ Diop, Reese Martin, and Thalo Green. Referees for tonight, we've got crew chief Alex McEwen, Anthony Redmond, and Jordan Andreola. It's going to be a good one, folks. If you are tuning in live, let us know in the comments who you are, where you're watching from, so we can get you a shout out. As Rip have first possession, nearly turn it over, Tueta recovers. Bradley gets a Josh Tueta screen, fires a jumper short. Big rebound, TJ Diop. One guy that neither of you mentioned, and I'm really disappointed that neither of you did, Thalo Green. He's been awesome this year.
I was about to say, how about, I played against him before I went to college when he came to Rockhampton, and that was like 19 years ago. So this dude is early 40s, still getting it done. I was about to say, can we just give a shout out to how good Thalo has been for 2 decades in the QBL.
And there's Spencer Parker putting the first points on the board. Rollers are up 2-0.
And Mickey C gives Thalo, look at him matched up on the best player here from the Rip City, at least in recent weeks. Just a wonderful person to have on your ball club.
Nice look inside. Josh Tueta finishes the pass from his brother Izzy.
And it's interesting too because as the fans know, Johnny, we had a little rip opportunities in the last few weeks up the coast, and so we've got to see a fair bit of this Rip team. And Izzy Tueta hadn't been playing great. I mean, I'm a big Izzy Tueta fan, but I think he might have had a couple of niggling injuries. So I think he really needs to bounce back into his standard form if they're really to have a good show tonight. And he's had a couple of great passes to start the game.
His matchup with Reece Martin is going to be big time. And it's interesting as well. I know Petrie's missed some time. And what an amazing career he's had in the Seaball and the NBL and now here at the Gold Coast. Probably wondering how many minutes he'll play tonight. You'd think if he's healthy, you'd start him, given how good he is. But obviously, Mickey will monitor that and inject him as needed.
It's been a very busy start to the game as Job goes to the right hand and lays it in. But pretty good pace here for both teams so far early, boys.
Yeah, really good pace. And
that's
just
a heck of a move, Izzy Tueta.
For the Rollers, just so much talent, so much offense. Great move from Diop before.
They're really, I guess, feeling their mismatch in terms of size from the Gold Coast roster versus USC roster, trying to go at Josh Tueta, because if they get him in foul trouble, it's going to be the Gold Coast and then 6 dudes under 6 foot. So they're really going at him, but he's doing a good job so far.
Louis Hilton lost it on the way up. They got the foul call before it, though. It's going to send Louis Hilton to the free throw line for 2 shots. Louis on the season, a 53% free throw shooter. He's been shooting the ball pretty well for the last few weeks, though, yeah, Dan. I think he's been a big part of this run to the finals.
Well, he was away for a couple of weeks. I think he was at Camp Esto's wedding, then he got a bit sick and missed another game. But he, in fact, he missed the last game here on the Gold Coast, I believe. But since he's come back healthy, they have gone on a run, definitely. So I think this team has introduced Jamison into the group. That took a few weeks for him to gel. He's obviously very good. They all got health. Izzy Tueta's body's good. Louis back. And like I said earlier, they're feeling good about themselves despite being a 7 seed.
And to your point, Johnny, a lot of people think Elton's just a bit of an energy guy, which he certainly is. But he was shooting the ball well a couple times when we saw him play. That's for sure.
There's Rose reversing it. Thalo Green in the corner fires a 3 off the back of the rim. Izzy Tueta kicks ahead for Jamerson. Gets it back. Now back to Jamerson.
He's got to go at Thalo too.
He does. Finishes through the contact plus a foul.
And I look back at Thalo like, are you trying to guard me? What were you thinking?
That's a tough bucket there for Jamerson. Rip up 4 here early with Jamerson at the free throw line. Looking to complete the 3-point play.
To your point, Dan, there's one thing he doesn't lack is confidence.
In my, here's Petrie checking in early like we thought may be the case. In my very brief Rip City career of 1 game, or 1 weekend, 2 games, I found Jamison to be an amazingly positive person to have around the group. So very confident, but also a really great teammate, loved by all.
Here's Petrie. Not only is he a talent on the floor, Petrie, but it's like having another coach out there between him and Reece Martin. As Martin fires a 3 and drains it on cue. Jamerson left hand swatted by Diop. What a block there by TJ on the weak side.
I think if Jamerson goes into the paint tonight, he's got to be thinking to get on the rim and finish it with authority. I think with layups like that with
someone's
Diop
got a little, and all it's done is gone and got a little salsa on it.
Oh, is that right?
The good salsa here at the Carrara Indoor Stadium.
Shout out to the Varsity Vipers basketball club.
Catering has been ruined.
Good salsa though, hey boys.
It's very good, impressive.
Yeah.
Worth the trip down here next season, or next week if they're here, just to get a taste.
I think me old mate Joshy Darrah's club, I think.
Well, Adam Darrah's in the box, so there's a good chance that you're correct.
Oh, there they are. They're the Darrah family. There they are.
LJ Rose comes up with the steal and lays it in with the reverse layup. We're tied at 9.
Oh.
Bradley coming off the Tueta screen, reverses it. Now Jamerson with 11 on the shot clock. No look pass inside. Izzy Tueta can't handle it.
Good start here for both clubs. Nice job of executing the ball, executing their sets. Good looks from both teams, filling each other out.
Josh Tueta looking inside. Louis Hilton catches, blocked from behind by Petrie,
wow.
but he gets called for the foul. He didn't like the call. Looked clean from our angle, but referee saw it right along the baseline.
I think when you are in your mid to late 30s, you don't pin people as often as you used to. So when you do it, and you hear that whistle blow, it's just heartbreaking, fellas.
Louis Hilton done a pretty good job so far in the first, 5 minutes or so in the game, guarding Spencer Parker. Also, Parker's been quiet and Louis has been glued to him from the start.
Here we go. Rollers 9, Rip City 10. Let's go, Gold Coast.
Gold Coast trailing by 1. Here's Rose with it. Gets the screen from Petrie, pulls up for a deep jumper off. Petrie offensive rebound. Nice pass inside. Petrie catches, reverse layup, no good. Jamerson comes down with it. Izzy Tueta finds Louis Hilton open in the corner. 3 is up, in and out. Josh Tueta chases down the O-board. Now Bradley.
Interesting, couple of guys have been really hesitant on their shot.
Oh,
A little bit of tension here in the quarterfinal.
Jamerson picks up a foul. Reese
just very
Martin
smart and too smart to draw that contact. I think
set him up for that one.
some of the keys, I think, for Rip City is, I don't know what Jamison's talking about. I guess he knows everyone on the Gold Coast, but just got to stay locked into the game. But I think getting Bradley going is going to be really important for Rip City as well. Not sure he's awesome at creating his own shot, but if he gets his feet set, he's knockdown shooter, just straight money. So if they can get him involved early, that'd be obviously positive for them. But I think the Gold Coast are just doing a really good job of just playing slow, methodical offense at the moment, and that's going to suit them the longer this game goes.
10-9, the lead here for Rip. Rose has his pass tipped. It winds up with Martin, fires the 3. That's good for Reese Martin. Gold Coast up 2.
Yeah, I watched Reese in the warm-ups in particular, and he looked really calm and relaxed, and he also shot the ball really well.
How's that for a shot fake?
And Bradley drains it. You said if he has his feet set, they were certainly set on that one. Rose off the front of the rim, no good. Now here's Bradley for Rip. Skips it over, Izzy Tueta inside, Louis Hilton left hand. He finishes.
Yeah, good job
And
in
that's
transition.
how the Rip have, sorry, Dave, that's how Rip have to play. Get stops and then run, get quick offense. I think in the half court, the Gold Coast are too big, but if they can play quick like that, that's going to suit them all night.
Petrie turnaround on the baseline, hits it. He's done that a few times in his career, Anthony Petrie, as Josh Tueta hits the baseline jumper.
Yeah, that's what Dan alluded to. A really good opening quarter here for the Gold Coast. Just really patient offensively and sharing the ball well, getting everyone involved.
Hilton in the block. Gets it out. Josh Tueta fires a jumper. That falls for Josh.
I love seeing Josh Tueta aggressive too. I mean, he really does carry the load entirely on his own in terms of interior play for Rip City, and doesn't mean he has to stay there all night. He can shoot the ball, as we've seen in the last 2 possessions, but the more aggressive he is, the better. And he gets a quick rest. He had smart coaching too from Nathan Rousey, just to keep Josh out of foul trouble as he gets fatigued with a couple of minutes left here in the quarter.
Toby Zaremba checks in for Rip. And for Gold Coast, you see Salicic and Jaden Tom. Petrie, leaner, no good. Zaremba with the rebound. He kicks ahead, Jamerson. Skips it, Bradley. Puts it on the deck. Floater up and no good. Tipped
Oh,
up
how
and in
about
though by Zaremba. 7-point Rip City lead.
And I agree, Dan. I think the pace is going to be really important here. Can the Rollers slow down this offensive transition?
Reese Martin somehow comes up with it and recovers. There's 5 on the shot clock. He's got to get a shot off. Gets inside.
Oh.
Teardrop, no good, but he's
That's
fouled.
going to be 2 on Jamieson.
Well,
and Jamieson needs to know.
Yeah, but it was a silly foul. It was 5 seconds on the clock. You got Martin driving downhill coming at you. He was in poor position. Just
reached. And he's got to know, like what you just said, situation, you don't foul anyway. But given the depth, and we see them with 8 players on the bench, 8 players in total, 3 on the bench, Jamison's got to know. He's got to play 35-plus minutes tonight if they're going to win.
Where's some of the young fellas, Dan? Glover, etc. Some of the young kids.
Right, great question.
They did it. You know, they were.
Maybe there's an SBL final or something. I've got no idea.
SBL is definitely in action. Martin goes 1 of 2.
So
Eustace checks in for Parker, and James Griffin checks in for Jaron Jamieson.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I believe there's an SBL semi-final between Rip City and Redlands, if I'm correct.
Shout out to Jason Fittis, by the way, taking over Redlands basketball. It's amazing.
Yeah, him and Pete Pollock, I think.
Is that who it is?
Yeah,
awesome. I knew he was with someone. I didn't know it was
Pete Pollock's going to be the GM.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Griffin drains a 3 on his first shot of the game. Rip up 9.
Oh, okay.
Martin turns it over. Here comes Griffin.
He wants
He's got
to
a clear
dunk it.
path to the basket. He lays it up and misses.
Oh, my God. He could have passed that to Bradley. Shows the lad up. You got to make that,
Eustace
obviously.
fouled, and he'll take 2 free throw shots.
Bradley's going to be dirty at that. If you don't pass it ahead to the guard for a layup, you'd better dunk it.
Yeah.
You don't lay it up and miss the poster.
Yeah.
That's
Jack
unfortunate.
Fool, nominee for the night. Numero no.
Right now, yes, for sure. Still got a lot of basketball to play. Eustace has been really good for Gold Coast as well this season, and in particular the last few weeks he's had a strong finish to the QBL regular season. He hits them both.
Well, he's a really important player because if you're going to be critical of their roster, which is hard to be, they've obviously put together a great squad, but they're very heavy on interior play, but you'd say maybe lack shooters, which I don't think is true, but that would be the one criticism, and I think Eustace fills that role for them really well. So he's an important player for them to go deep into the playoffs.
Well, he's really capable too.
Sure is.
Martin picks up his second personal, so LJ Rose has to check back in. Minute 20 to go in the quarter. It's a 7-point Rip City lead.
Yeah, I mean, Eustace is the kind of guy that can give you 15
easily.
You know, very, very quickly.
Can't get it to fall. Knocked out of bounds off of Zaremba.
Interesting group here for the Rip. I mean, everything's got to go through Izzy Tueta, and Bradley's obviously checked back in, but again, for me, the bench has got to run the offense, create, and get looks for Bradley.
Here's Selicic with it. Skips it over to Eustace.
I'd almost play some zone here if I was Rip City.
Eustace recovered. Little short floater is off.
Although defense hasn't been their problem. I mean, they've been defending really well.
Bradley gets his feet set, fires. It's a short one off the front of the rim. Another one from Zaremba, but he lost it.
No need for the dribble there, and a young big at home.
Petrie fires a 3. That's good. Big bucket for Gold Coast. They cut the deficit to 4.
Well, big swing. Bradley's bucket goes in. Ripped up 10.
Yeah.
Zaremba from the elbow. That's off.
That's not good offense.
Gold Coast going to hold it for the final shot. LJ Rose gets a screen from Tom, goes away from it. Skip pass out to Eustace. Nice pass to Selicic in the corner. It's off. Petrie gets the shot off. It's no good. And that's the end of the first quarter, folks, and it's a 4-point USC Rip City lead. Pretty good quarter of action, good pace to that one. Definitely seemed to favor Rip City, though, the pace-wise at least.
Yeah, I think so. As we see Coach Hedgerhurst walk past the camera there from Logan Women. I think the pace does favour Rip City, but you've got to be careful, obviously, as the game goes over 4 quarters, that you get a little bit out of control just playing up and down like that. At some stage, you're going to have to slow down and grind it out, but I think the key for them, obviously, like all of us as basketballers, is on the defensive end, and I think they need to junk it up, play some zone, put some half-court pressure on, go man, switch. They've just got to make it hard for Gold Coast to get in a rhythm, which hopefully for the Rip City lead to stops, and they can get out and run and play up-tempo offense.
It was a great first quarter of action, folks. I do want to remind you, please visit the GoFundMe website, search up Get Narelle Well, and let's help get Narelle well. She's in for the fight of her life, battling breast cancer, and any donation that we can make will help her and her family in her fight. Please go visit the GoFundMe site, search Get Narelle Well, and make any and all contributions that you can. We will take a break. We'll come back with some statistics in the second quarter of action here in your QBL quarterfinal game of the week. It's the Rip City up on the Rollers 24-20. Welcome back to the Carrara Indoor Stadium on the beautiful Gold Coast. It's the University of Sunshine Coast Rip City up 4 on the Gold Coast Rollers, 24-20. At the quarter time, looking at some statistics, pretty well balanced attack for Rip. Louis Ilton leads them, Josh Duetta leads them with 6 points. Ilton has 5, Jemerson with 3, Bradley with 3, Griffin with 3 as well. Leading the way for Gold Coast, Reese Martin with 7, and Anthony Petrie with 5.
Have to correct myself as well, gents. Ben Does tuning in on the YouTube channel. The Rip City boys are actually playing Northside in the SBL semi-final. So I'm not sure who Redlands is up against, but there are a couple of semi-finals going on for the SBL guys tonight.
Bradley fires a short jumper. That's good.
Good offense. Coach Arasi will love that. Great offense out of the quarter time break.
LJ Rose left wide open. He drains a 3.
Not quite as good defense. Reminds me of Bill Murray in Space Jam. I don't do defense.
Whoa.
Rose on the season a 33% three-point shooter. Josh Tuetta reverses it to Bradley. Brings it out against Jop. Now Griffin from the wing. Short. Jop with the rebound. Selicic skips it. Eustace puts it on the floor. He nearly lost it. But the foul's on the floor.
He just does.
Going to go against.
He does such a good job of that catch and rip. And he just puts the defense under so much pressure because he's capable of shooting the 3. I actually really like the aggressive version that's come out early in the second quarter because equally he can open up him to shoot the 3 ball later on.
It's a 3-point game here. Rip up by 3. Job back in there, looking inside. Green can't handle the pass. Here comes Tuetta. Skips it. Bradley fires a 3-pointer, and that's good.
That might have been a little bit harsh on Taylor Green. Was a difficult pass to handle, I thought, but the right idea from the Gold Coast, trying to play high-low going inside. But like we saw, if the Rip can get stops and get out in transition, they've got all the offense in the world coming downhill at the Rollers' defense.
Eustace was short with it. Ilton grabs the rebound. He puts it on the floor, goes right to the rim, misses. Tuetta there to tip it up and in.
How's that for a one-handed athletic tip-in?
Pretty good.
God damn.
Big happy birthday shout out to Katie Blythe, big fan of the show, the Blythes. Johnny?
Of the show.
Of the show.
I like
the
it.
call. Sorry. I've gone too early on some news we're going to announce later. No, I'm joking.
Coach Mick Conlon takes a quick timeout with his team down 8, 7:49 to go in the half. We'll take a quick one as well.
There should be a show. How about that?
31-23, Rip City up on the rollers. Your QBL quarterfinal game of the week brought to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at Carrara Indoor Stadium. It's 31-23, Rip City up by 8. 7:49 to go in the half. Coach Mick Conlon calls a good time out there. Things weren't looking too good for the Gold Coast. He wants to get a resettle. I like the timeout from Coach Conlon there. Let's see what adjustments are made. Josh Sweater hands off. Bradley fires a short floater off. Louis Ilton grabs the rebound and puts it in. Rip City up 8 now, 10.
Eustace, 3.
It's well off from Eustace. Ball goes out of bounds off Louis Ilton.
Taylor Green cleans up the offensive board.
Well, they just, again, with depth, sometimes I think comes a little bit of unsure as to the pecking order, and I think for now the Gold Coast, they've really got to focus on who they want to get some shots for.
It's a great point.
They're involving, everyone. If you've got 5 people on the boards, but Petrie 2 of 6, Eustace 0 of 2, Salicic 0 of 2, Reece Martin 2 of 4.
And I think in the regular season that depth is great.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, when you go 6, 7, maybe 8 deep, if there's some foul trouble, like you said, it becomes a bit harder to know your identity. Whereas at the other end, the Rip City, like Izzy Twitter drove to the Gold Coast tonight knowing he's going to take 15 shots at least.
Yep.
Same with Jamieson. Josh Twitter knew what he had to do, whereas the Gold Coast boys might have come down going, I might take 15 shots, I might take 5, depending who gets hot. So there's strengths to both sides of that, but you have to know your identity and know how you want to play and who you're going to get shots for, especially in close playoff games like this.
Well, one guy Gold Coast definitely wants to get shots for is Spencer Parker. He's only had 2 shots so far. He's got 4 points after hitting those 2 free throws. Gold Coast down 8. Josh
Single
Sweater.
coverage in the post. Good defense from Jop on that case.
Gold Coast turns it over though. Couple silly ones so far for Gold Coast. A lot of these little things, little ones starting to build up a little bit for Gold Coast. Bradley's jumper is off the front of the rim. Martin grabs the rebound. Dalo Green.
Oh, he hooked.
Yeah,
Good call.
Referee Alex McEwen calls Dalo Green for the hook. It's a good call, like you said.
And Taylor's telling him to sit down on the bench, but he thought Petrie was coming in for him, and Taylor was not happy. But I'm sure he's happier now that it wasn't him coming
They
out.
only signaled 2 fouls. I thought that was his 3rd, but
Dalo?
yeah.
No,
But
that's only his second, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they said it was his second.
Yeah.
Izzy Tueta skips it. Can will fire a wing 3. That's good. Big
We
shot.
say this every week with every team we watch. If you can get your feet in the paint, it just opens up the floor so much. Izzy Twitter did a great job there, found a shooter, and Can knocks it down.
Petrie gets it out. Martin from the wing. It's up. Off the back of the rim. Long rebound. Parker recovers. Gets inside. Goes right at the defense. He's fouled. That one's going to go against Josh Tueta.
I think the Gold Coast Association has given a free bar tab to the box sitting next to Coach Arasi from the Rip City. There's about 8 dudes over there all chugging something. And I don't think they're short of something to say either. Strategic marketing, perhaps.
I like it. It's a bit like the old days at Mackay.
It's like the 6th defender over there.
When you literally had the Mackay faithful right next to your bench.
Parker hits them both again.
I think I borrowed a pen one night when I was drawing up a play from one of them.
Izzy Tueta, teardrop, no good. Green grabs the rebound.
The one problem with playing quick basketball, like we said, Rip City probably have to, is that there are going to be very few offensive rebounds.
There's Selicic hitting the 3.
So when you play fast, the bigs can't get down there to rebound. Yeah. So if you know you're going to sacrifice that, you got to make sure you get back on defense, and your D-trans better be strong.
Yeah, nice little action there. Good punch screen from Ilton.
Phalo Green going at it with
hungry.
Ilton. Flips it up and in. Josh Tueta now skips it out to his brother Izzy. Fires a 3 off the side of the rim. Green with the rebound, turns it over. Bradley takes a few jabs. Then there's an offensive foul called on Josh Tueta. I think that's going to be Josh's second personal as well.
Well, he's just got to be calm here. Phalo likes some shenanigans.
I remember, I mentioned earlier playing against Phalo 19 years ago or something. I was 17 or 18 years old, and I, in the post, took 3 back down drill. On the third one, he just flopped like a house of cards, just folded, and he got up and said, "Come on, man, you know they're going to call a flop on the third one. Like, back me down twice and then shoot it." And he's been doing it ever since.
Parker gets blocked by Josh Tueta. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Rib.
I actually think he got away with a walk.
He's definitely getting frustrated. You can see he's trying to put his head down and force his way to the basket a few times now.
And the Gold Coast are running very much just a kind of free-flowing freelance offense, which means guys that want to score end up doing that because they don't know when they're going to get it back next. So he gets the ball, puts his head down. So I'm sure Mickey Conlon will ask for a bit more structure and a bit more execution as they finish this half and move into the second.
Louis Ilton will fire a 3. That's off the back of the rim. Another rebound for Reese Martin. Martin comes off the Petrie screen, gets his feet in the paint, fires, misses. Good rebound by Josh Tueta. And here comes the Rip on a fast break. Oh, Martin nearly stole that one. Bradley recovers. Looking for the Tueta screen, looking for the reverse. It's not there. Great defense from Petrie and Martin. Martin goes up, lays it in, busts the foul. Great double team at the top of the key. That's a hard place to double, but man, what a defensive stop, and plus the finish and the foul. Coach Nathan Arasi going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Rip up 38-34 on the Rollers. The QBL quarterfinal game of the week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to Carrara Indoor Stadium. Rip City up 4 on the Gold Coast. Rollers 38-34 with Reese Martin at the free throw line. Looking to shoot a 3-point play opportunity. 1 free throw.
Yeah, Rollers have done a good job here in this last few minutes to just make it really tough, and they're just grinding it out. Defensively, they've done a good job. Especially evidence, that great little trap at that got Bradley in trouble.
It's a 3-point game. Parker tips it out of bounds. 14 on the shot clock for Rip. Jemerson set to inbound. Jemerson gets it on the baseline, blocked from behind. A very, very, very late whistle. That foul's going to go against Spencer Parker. That looked as clean as could be.
If there was a foul, I think it would have been on the front, like on the bench side, because from the back that looked
but he
as clean as you can get.
He called it on one, right?
Yeah, he
did,
called it on
sure
Parker.
did. Yeah, he did call it, but looked clean.
It's a tough call there.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is if there was a little bit of body contact after the block up high. I mean, he did definitely jump forward, so it just depends on where and when that contact occurred, I suppose.
And Rip City obviously are up 3 here, done a great job so far, but I think if they're going to keep this lead, they've got to get Jamison going. He's struggled so far with a bit of foul trouble and misses both here.
Yeah, well, how many shots you reckon Jamison's had, John?
2.
Yeah, 2 shots.
Am I right?
Tueta had 3. For me, they need to dominate the ball and they need to dominate the shots.
Yeah. I think if Rip lose tonight and Jamison's taken, and he's 6 for 20, that's cool.
So be it. That's right.
Absolutely. But if they lose and he's 7 for 10, or 4 for 10, that's a problem.
Izzy Tueta fires a deep 3, hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
On cue, double D.
I love it. Around the grounds, Johnny, looks like BBI.
LJ Rose hits another 3 to respond. It's a 3-point game. And Brisbane Capitals, Dave, give us the update.
Well, they put the hammer on Logan, so Logan with the double whammy of both teams exiting in the first round.
Reese Martin for 3, that's good. It's a 1-point game.
Reese Martin's just cool, calm, and collected, isn't he?
Jemerson misses a tough
struggling.
one.
As I said, I watched him in the warm-ups, and he shot the ball really well, and I just got a vibe that he was going to come out and be a little bit dominant tonight, and so he should be, because I think as he goes, everyone else gets confidence out of that.
That's a great dish from Parker to Petrie, and the Rollers retake the lead, 42-41.
But just good quality structured offense too. And like we said earlier, they look like they know where they want to get shots from. Obviously, Petrie is going to take a lot of them, so he should.
Petrie with the big block. Hilton fouled, though, on the second attempt. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Petrie just looks like he's got that old man strength. Not saying he's an old man, but he just looks like he owns a farm, doesn't he? I think he owns a farm. Like, he looks like he's got farmer strength.
I think he's from
a strong dude.
From the West, I think, as a family.
He's a New South Welshman.
Is he?
Anthony
Okay.
Petrie.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure
not anymore, but certainly from a Blues supporter, I know that. Should never.
Well, I think he's from northern New South Wales on a farm. Played in Canberra, then went to the Razorbacks, maybe the mid-2000s. That's where he started off under Rob Beveridge, actually, from memory. In fact, I think Bevo was his New South Wales ITC coach, from memory. So there's another one from the Bevo stable that's gone on and done great things.
Yeah, he's a great coach too. I've watched him coach some of the Gold Coast Rollers teams that he coaches, and a couple of Queensland State teams. He's a really good coach too, Petrie. He's an excellent coach.
In terms of knowledge of the game, you wouldn't find too many with more.
It's a 42 all
and
game
just,
here.
Again, a terrific NBL career, right? Everyone was pretty keen on getting his signature most years. He's a great role player.
Parker has it, looking for a screen from Selicic. Now Eustace with it. Back into Selicic. Corner three is good. Christian Selicic has the Jimmy working. He's up 3.
That's pretty well defended. Tip you had. Great shot from Selicic.
Jemerson kicks it out for Bradley. Parker comes up with the steal, gets it ahead to Selicic, dumps it off. LJ Rose blocked by Josh Tueta, but they're going to get Josh for the foul, and I think that's his third.
Come on, man. You can't call a tech for that.
And then a technical foul.
That's terrible. They missed the call to start with. In a quarterfinal, you can't call a tech that quickly when you've just made the wrong call 5 seconds earlier.
Looked like a whole lot of ball to me.
Josh is fuming. He's got to be careful here. He picked up the tech.
Was the tech on him as well?
No, the tech wasn't. The tech was on 11.
On Jemerson?
Yeah, so something else has obviously been said after the fact. So Josh has obviously picked up the foul, and then Jamison has opened his mouth and said something.
But Jamison felt like he got fouled on the last possession down here. Then he's watched Josh get all balls, so he's frustrated. But I think Jamison's, with all respect, and my experience is he's a great dude, and everyone seems to love him everywhere he's gone. So great guy, but so I apologise if it sounds too harsh, but he needs to forget the crowd, forget everyone over here trying to high-five him before the game starts, and just play. I feel like he might be a little bit distracted at the moment.
The free throws are good. It's a 6-point Gold Coast lead, and boys, let's give the Gold Coast a bit of credit here. They've really locked down defensively here in the second quarter and running some nice sets and hitting a couple big shots as well.
Sure have Johnny up +8 in the second quarter as they look to establish Jamison in the post.
And Jemerson got deep, and he got fouled.
He missed his last 2 foul shots, so hopefully he can knock 1 or 2 down here for his confidence. But
yeah,
good aggressive move. That's what the Rip are going to need from him.
And,
absolutely.
Great second spin. That
no
was terrific. First spin was fairly well defended, but the next one was super quick. And that's what he's got to do. If he can just get to the line here, if he's going to create some offense. Again, only 2 shots, I think, prior to that.
Jemerson missed another one, though. Free throws.
5 of 10 for the Rip.
Creeping in. Jemerson struggled last season from the free throw line. This season, coming into tonight, he was shooting at about a 73% clip. Hits that second. TJ Job going to check back in. Thalo Green getting a breather. Approaching the minute mark of the first half. Rollers up 5. LJ Rose fires a 3 off the front of the rim. Griffin grabs the rebound, gets it ahead to Izzy Tueta. Skips it, Jemerson going right at the defense. Hands off, Louis Ilton misses. It's tipped out though to Izzy Tueta. Bradley puts it on the floor, hands off Louis Ilton, blocked by Job. Jemerson recovered and was fouled.
He really well defended Diop on the first one, got the block, and then really liked the Jamison's just all over the ball, trying to get involved in the game because he's really
he's forcing himself to be involved.
That's right. He really is.
So he's looking for opportunities without having his number called in terms of set plays. But I'd love to see them run the Rip City. This is run a little bit of side on balls. Maybe get Jamison, Izzy Tueta in a 2-man game. Let Bradley spot up opposite. See if Job can come out and guard that. That might be a good way to get Jamison on the roll. Izzy Tueta can turn the corner. I don't know. Might be worth mixing in as they look for buckets here to close the half.
48-45. LJ Rose has it. Finds Selicic in the corner. Pull up jumpers up and well off. Ilton has it now for Rip. Kicks ahead for Bradley. There's Louis Ilton with it. He's fouled by Selicic. Gold Coast in the penalty. So that's going to send Louis Ilton to the free throw line. Joel McInnes showing us the score in the women's game. Ipswich goes on the road and knocks off Rockhampton 79-74. That's a 7-2 matchup as well.
Yeah.
So Ipswich, the 7 seed, goes into Rockhampton and pulls off the upset.
It's
I feel
no
like
easy
Coach
feat
George
up there.
is very underrated, isn't he? Every year this time of year they produce.
So be some interesting matchups. Spartans won, of course Gold Coast won, Ipswich won, and Townsville won as well. So those are the 4 advancing to the semifinals in the women. And in the men's, we know that Brisbane has advanced to the semifinals. The other 3 games are happening now, including this one, with Rollers up by 2, 48-46, and Holden for the final shot of the half. Spencer nearly lost
trying
it.
to anyway.
Goes out of bounds off a rip. Coach Conlon going to take a timeout. Let's keep it here, though. 8.3 seconds to go. And it's a good timeout from Mick, looking to draw something up with 8.3 seconds to go. Understanding the flow of the game, guys, and the talent that Gold Coast has. Dave, who do you think Coach Conlon's going to look at for a bucket here?
Well, I think often in these out of bounds, they try and run something for TJ Diop around the baseline on some of those small little bigs, small big screens. Then you've got Salicic in the corner. He's hit a couple trays, so they've got a few options as they try and close out this first half and just give themselves a little bit of a high five as they head into the break. And equally for the rip, they want to try and get a stop. And if they can get an opportunity to score the ball in the next 8 seconds, good luck to them.
It's been a really tight game so far in the first half, hasn't it, boys?
It has, and we'll see what they execute out of the timeout here. I'm sure they'll do whatever he draws up, but I think Mickey C's done a really good job with the team this year. I know he's been around a long time with mixed results at different clubs, but this year he seems to have put the team together that he wants, and he's put his style onto it, and they've done really well and played the brand of basketball that he wants them to play. So deserves a lot of credit, but a 2nd seed means nothing when you come up against a good 7 seed in Rip City, but give him credit where it's due through the regular season. Done a wonderful job here on the Gold Coast.
8.3 seconds to go in the first half. 48-46 lead for the Rollers. Here comes the inbounds from LJ Rose. Goes deep to Martin. Martin finds Parker. 3 on the shot clock. Trying to force his way. Loses his feet. Finds Rose, who can't get a shot off. So a disappointing end to the half. To an otherwise close first half of action. 48-46. Just get your quick thoughts, Dan, on that first half of action.
Well, I think it's what we expected in terms of the Gold Coast are bigger and deeper in terms of how they go in their roster. More guys play than Rip City, who would go maybe 6 or 7 deep at most. So the Gold Coast have come out and just chipped away, but Rip City are just finding a way to stack, even stay involved. But I think what we've seen so far, we can pretty safely say that Rip City need to lock in and get stops on defense because they're not getting any second chance opportunities at all. But if they can keep getting stops and keep running and getting Jamison in transition, Izzy Twitter in transition, find Bradley for some spot-up shots, they're every chance of causing an upset tonight.
Dave, what did you see in that first half of action?
Yeah, I think it was a really good arm wrestle, to be honest, and there's not much in it between both groups. I think for the Rip, they've got to get their guys. Oh, well, actually, for me, both teams have got to get their main guys some shots. You know, as they go is how the team's going to proceed or not. So I think Jamison's got to get some more action for the Rip, that's for sure. And again, Izzy Tueta, he's moving the ball and he's penetrating. 6 assists is great, but he needs more than 4 points.
How would you get Jamison more looks? He's forced himself into it on the glass.
I think
if you were drawing up plays for him, what would you do?
Well, I agree. I think he's working too hard to get the ball. Everything's a struggle there. In that second quarter, they tried to post him up, but Gold Coast did a pretty good job of negating that, I thought.
Well,
so
it's one pass post entry.
Yeah.
It's not start him on this side, back cut, get him an easy look in the post on the move. I think that's the difference.
And I'd like a little bit more swing and reversals too. I think they're just a bit one-dimensional. So it's get it through hands, let the ball move, and whether you can get him off some double staggers on weak sides, make the Gold Coast boys move around a little bit, because we equally want to try and get Bradley going too. So if they can try and get some decoy action for Jamison, Bradley can step out, hit some threes.
Well, it's going to be an exciting second half of action. That first half was awesome. It's only a 2-point game at the break. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll come back with some halftime statistics and the second half of action. It's 48-46. Rollers up on Rip City here in your QBL quarterfinal game of the week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you on Nothing But Net Media. We've got a tight one here at the half, 48-46. Carrara Indoor Stadium. Gold Coast Rollers up by 2, 48-46. Where are the stats? So we're looking at some of the out of town scoreboard. Looks like Rockhampton's up on Cairns, in Cairns with 4 minutes to go, up 8, 72-64. Townsville up by 5 in the third, 59-54. And then let's pull up our stats here. Where am I?
While you do that with 30 seconds till we kick off again, I think the one stat, without looking at the screen, that Rip City need to improve on, like Dave said earlier, is Jamison's shot attempts. That's the one stat that I care about this quarter. He needs to get heavily involved. 10, 11, 12 shots this quarter if they're going to have a chance, I think, in the long run. Otherwise, we're going to see the Gold Coast just grind it out due to their depth and size.
I think if you're Gold Coast, you want to get Spencer Parker more looks as well. He's only taken 3 attempts. He has gotten to the free throw line 4 times, though, and hit all 4 of his shots. So that's a pretty good effort for Spencer Parker. But to hold an MVP candidate to 3 shot attempts in a half, got to give a bit of credit to Louis Hilton for that one. Did a really good job on Spencer Parker in the half. Eight on the shot clock. Rose gets a screen from Diop. Reverses it to Parker. Parker gets to the rim.
Oh.
Misses.
His
Diop
eyes lit
misses
up.
the tip, but he gets the second one to go.
It's a lot of contact for a no goal.
I mean, that's just beautiful defense, though, and you can't call an offensive foul because it's inside the semicircle, so you either penalize the defense for doing nothing wrong or you leave it as is.
Good take from Louis Hilton.
And Mickey Conlon's upset, and he should be, because we saw Parker get in the lane hard. Bit of contact. Regan, as you said, maybe a no call. It's probably a different positioning on the court. Defense is in different spots, so it's a different play, but that looked like a very soft call in comparison. That's why Mick's upset.
As a coach, it is a very hard thing to accept that as well, because, two very, very different situations under the circumstances.
Very different.
Like, from an outside perspective, absolutely going to argue that, because in retrospect, that is very soft in comparison, but because of the different scenario, that is a foul, and that is probably a good no call.
I'm going to start calling you Steve Javy. That's a great explanation.
Reese Martin gets to the rim to lay it in.
Throws the...
Steve Javy's an old NBA superstar official, just in case. It was a compliment, just in case you didn't know.
I assumed it was a compliment, but I have no idea who Steve Javy is.
I'm going to Google him at 3/4 time for you.
Reese turning on the turbo off that pick and roll. Great change of speed. And he's been really good for them.
Josh Twitter misses the jumper. Thalo Green with the rebound.
Leads all scorers with 17.
Here's Rose. Finds Martin, reverses it to Parker.
There
Wing
you go.
3 off the front of the rim.
Good look. I think both teams had quality looks in the first half. They just struggled a little bit on the field goal percentage. And that's something they're going to clean up, their defensive rebounding.
Hilton gets called for the foul, fighting with Thalo Green for the rebound. Louis Hilton never takes a backward step, and he is just full of energy from the start to the end.
And you might say, yeah, but everyone plays hard, but not really. Playing that hard is a skill.
Yeah.
It's like having a quick first step. Like it's a quality that he's got that not many others do.
Did anyone think to check the floor after that, see if there was a dent? Because that shook the entire stadium, I think, when Green hit the deck.
I think I was talking to Joel before the game, and stadium looks terrific, but I think the floor is about 1,000 years old still.
And you know, as you get older as a player, I'm going to let Jamison finish this in transition before I comment.
A lot of contact, no call. Tipped out. Bradley floater is no good.
Geez, that's an unlucky roll. As you get older as a player, you know the one thing you hate the most? Getting knocked onto the ground. So that was a hard fall for anybody, but especially for a 40-something-year-old veteran.
We should get a check. Is he 40? Who's the oldest? Seriously, how old is the Rambub while we're at it? Toby's got to be late 30s. Has to be, right?
Jemerson gets it out. Izzy Twitter fires a 3 off the back of the rim.
The Rip City getting good looks here, just can't knock them down.
Philo Green, hands off for Rose. Rose picks up his dribble inside. Nice pass for Diop.
Josh has to not foul here. Great job not fouling. It looks like the boys are going to be able to play here. Not too much contact being called.
Hilton finds a cutting Bradley. Nice pass and a great finish.
Nice off it. Really nice.
It's a 1-point game. Rose from 3. That's good. It's a big bucket there for Gold Coast. They go up 4. Jamerson right at the defense.
That's what Jamerson needs plenty. If you're a Rip City fan, that's what you love to see. An aggressive Jamerson to the rim, but under control.
Reese Martin from the wing. That's well off.
He thought it was going out too. He turned around. Just a free-flowing game of basketball here.
Josh Tueta gets deep in the paint.
Oh my God.
Parker in the paint against Bradley. Lays it up and in. Strong bucket there from Spencer Parker. Bradley gives it to Tueta for 3. That's like good.
Just a good rhythm jumper. And again, for me, Tueta's a terrific shooter off catch and shoot. So equally, Bradley's done a good job.
That's a tough call for Rip City. Josh Tueta.
That's his 4th, yeah.
You don't need to push the point guard.
4th foul.
That's a big call.
Toby Zaremba is going to have to check in.
I think we're going to see a bit of Louis Hilton at the 5, James Griffin and Jamison in a few minutes' time, which has its strengths and weaknesses. That makes them small, but makes them quick too. But I find it amazing the amount of contact that wasn't called the last 3 or 4 minutes, and now I guess the refs are just trying to bring it back in and make sure there's no
So who did they hit?
fouling of elbows. I think that was Louis Hilton, I think. Just a couple of quick calls, maybe just to tell these guys to settle down a little bit. And bad defense on the out-of-bound play.
3-point lead for Gold Coast. About 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bradley kicks it for Zaremba.
Wow.
Then Philo Green gets called for the reaching foul.
It's a bit of an interesting one considering the level of contact we've been letting go, and it's been a really strong defensive game down both ends of the floor. And you know, I look at that and did it really need to be called? I mean, it's a big call on Green when, you know, he kept playing through.
I feel like the game was starting to get real physical, and I feel like the officials have said, let's call 3 or 4 quick ones just to get these guys to settle down before it gets out of control.
Yeah, it's been physical. I don't think it was out of control physical, though. It was just a lot of really tough defense.
I feel like that should have been a goaltending.
Absolutely.
Zaremba missed a couple, then get fouled by...
He hit the
the
back.
first one was goaltending, surely.
Hit the backboard. The backboard's shaking.
That was from the couple bricks Zaremba threw up, I think.
Oh.
Just kidding, Toby. That was awesome.
Whoa.
Johnny G's
throwing
cold,
shade.
man.
Damn.
Especially for an
come on.
ex-Gold Coast guy,
You're
too,
usually
mate.
so impartial, you know.
I
You
am.
just let
I
me and
always
Dave
am.
throw stupid comments out, but damn, you brought the heat on that
I
one.
mean, come on. It was 2 layups.
Yeah, it missed because the backboard was shaking from getting slapped.
It
Should have been
a goaltend. In your defense, Toby, it should have been a goaltend. Goes 1 of 2. 59-57.
Louis Hilton's playing great defense.
Yeah, he really
off
is.
the ball, just
And they've obviously, and equally too, they're putting Reese Martin off the ball, which has been wise because he's been really good.
Petrie turnaround jumper, no good.
That's a soft call. I thought that was really well defended, but
Foul goes against Zaremba.
if you, as a player, if you fade away, you're almost accepting that you're not going to get a foul call. Like, if Petrie's happy to take 2 dribbles and shoot a 3-foot fadeaway, I feel like you shouldn't get a foul call for that.
It's kind of the standard they've set with their last 4 calls, though, I think. So, you know, in my opinion, the one down the other end was pretty damn soft on the ground as well. But if you're going to call that soft foul down there on the ground, then you probably have to call the soft foul down this end on the shot. So
let's hope it stays consistent for the next. My math's not good.
Yeah,
14 and a half minutes.
The pacing has changed a lot in this quarter alone. You know, we let them play really strong physical defense for the first 3 minutes, and now they're just trying to wrap it in, and they're just calling everything, including that soft stuff.
Petrie missed them both, but then Rip turned it over underneath their own basket. Here's Martin off the screen. Jumper's good
play.
all day.
That's the last 2 out-of-bounds plays on the baseline. Rich Martin scored 1 layup, 1 wide-open jump shot.
He's got the Jimmy going tonight. He's got 19.
He got almost zoned the out-of-bounds play if you're Rip City.
Block again by Parker. And again, another foul called.
Parker is
Parker
giving
on the
Jamison
push.
nothing at the rim. Just contesting everything.
Let's see how many that is on Spencer Parker. That's 2 personals. Jamison will get to the free throw line for a couple shots.
I remember a couple of games we did up north, boys, and I remember commenting on the offensive woes of the USC, Johnny, and their struggle to score in the 4th quarter against the last one, which I can't recall who the opponent was. Toowoomba, thank you. And they just really struggled offensively to run anything. And so I think they've really got to clean it up here in this next 4 minutes in particular. I just feel Gold Coast is getting on top of them now. Defensively, they're doing a good job. Offensively, they're executing better. Josh Tuetta's got the 4th foul now.
And
wow.
fair call.
Petrie gets the bucket.
What is going on here?
What's the technical?
And then they called a technical foul
for?
I believe it'll be for flopping because he's throwing his arm backs going, call the tech, call the tech.
Mate, he's getting elbowed, he's getting shouldered in the chest. What are you meant to do? He either does that or he falls onto his back and gets the call. If Zaremba takes the second hit and goes on his back, it's a charge. He stayed on his feet, they called a tech. Come on, man.
That's ridiculous.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Come on, mate.
It's an interesting one.
I feel like that's oh my God, it's Anthony Petrie. I'm a bit intimidated by him call.
I've never seen that.
That's terrible.
Before. If anything, it was an offensive.
If he takes the second hit and goes on his back, we're going down the other end and Petrie's complaining about an offensive foul.
I'm not defending the call. Like I agree because the contact was there. The whole point of a flop is there is no contact. You're intentionally trying to draw the foul. There's contact there, and he's just throwing his arm back, saying, "Hey, call it! Hey, call it!" So. Look, it's a no call.
No, you got 6'8", 115 kilos knocking into your chest. What are you meant to do?
So what I don't understand, though, I thought they said the basket counted. It did.
They waved it away.
They waved it off.
On the floor, they counted it, but obviously they've changed their mind.
Yeah, on the floor, they counted it. Then the 2 referees came together, Alex McEwen and Anthony Redmond, discussed it, and they decided that they would wave it away.
Reese Martin comes up with an easy bucket, goes up to 5, the Rollers lead. Been a very physical game between both teams. Jamison skips it out. Bradley's wide open 3 is up and down.
He is very good like that. Off penetration, feet set, that is a layup.
That was a great pass too.
Heck of a pass, absolutely.
Here's Parker getting inside layup. No good. They're going to say the foul was on the floor. Rip in the penalty anyway, so Parker will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Bonus 2 for Spencer Parker.
Good action from the coast as well. That's where Parker's really nice off those little turnouts and again trying to get him involved. Just trying to find the Live stats, only 6 shots still.
66-62
Mackay,
after
That could have been an extra point to the Gold Coast. Louis touching the net could have been called a 2-point play, I believe.
Mackay up 3, 5 minutes to go
in Townsville.
in Townsville.
Rockhampton was up big in Cairns as well.
Rockhampton is up 14.
In Cairns, that one's
40
almost, that
seconds
one's
to go.
over.
Oh, you got to get it in.
That's done?
That's done, man.
Done.
So a bit of an upset, that one there. Rockhampton going in as the lower seed into Cairns to get the win.
Ah,
Izzy Tueta and
shoot it
Bradley.
yourself, Izzy.
Miscommunication there. Selicic with it now, looking for Petrie. He gets it to him. Pull-up jumper short. Zaremba with the rebound. Petrie gets called for the foul.
It's a frustration.
Yeah,
Just
2 shots.
reach in.
And that's going to put Gold Coast in the penalty, like you said, Dave. 2 shots. Izzy Tueta going to get a breather. Chris Can going to check in. Bradley at the free throw line with a couple shots. His team is down by 4 with 3 minutes to go in the third. Hits them both. Martin reverses it to Selicic. Now Spencer Parker. Martin gets a screen from Tom. Gets to the basket and lays it in. Reese Martin, he's just picking apart the rip in this third quarter.
Vintage Martin, 21.
Bradley behind the back to Ilton. Picks up his dribble. Now Zaremba, baseline jumpers up. In and out. Martin with the rebound.
Someone going to guard him?
Parker puts it on the floor. Euros his way to the basket and lays it in.
Yeah, I'm going to signs here for the rip.
Yeah, it's a really big 2 minutes. Down 6, they could easily be down 14 at three-quarter time, or they could be down 2 or 3.
Louis Ilton looking to make something happen. Works it around. Bradley has to fire a deep one.
That's
well
a really
off.
bad possession. This is where the Rip need to, and with Izzy Tueta off, it's hard. But that's where Jamison or Bradley need to grab the ball and run a set, force somebody and execute something.
Parker, jumper's wet.
They almost
Leads
need a
out to
timeout.
8.
Yeah, they almost need a timeout, I think, just to get Izzy in the game just for the last couple of possessions.
There's Jamerson with it now. He's double teamed. Swings it to Bradley, 8 on the clock.
Jamison doesn't want anything to do with his defender either at the moment.
Bradley.
That's a heck of a move.
Scoop shot plus the foul.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
That was terrific.
I said earlier that he can't play off the dribble, but good knockdown shooter.
Well, he showed you.
I was wrong.
He showed, that was a little UTEP
For the
two-step.
first time in my broadcasting career, I was wrong.
A lot of chatting too from Bradley and the Gold Coast Rollers. Bradley wasn't happy with something. A lot of chatting.
Just hit the foul shot, man. That's all you got to do.
It's getting physical, little chippy. Leading to another exciting finish here on the Gold Coast. We've got about 1:10 to go in the third quarter.
This potential three-point play came out of nothing because
They desperately needed
their
it.
offensive woes haven't improved in the last few minutes.
And Izzy Tueta's still out, so it looks like he's coming in for Bradley, which is interesting.
Let's get some noise in this building. Roller
Bradley missed. Now Gold Coast with an opportunity to increase the lead. Parker, a deep three, misses it. Jamerson grabs the rebound. He's going to bring it up court.
Jamison's got to be aggressive. He's not really turning the corner. Bradley's super aggressive, so he should be.
I like Bradley's ticked off.
He's angry. He's
upset.
I really like where he's at.
Yeah, me too. And I feel like Jamison's got to match that level of intensity. And if he does, Rip City's going to be rolling.
Eustace for three is good. Great pass cross court from Reese Martin.
Yeah, really good vision.
Big possession here to finish the quarter.
7-point Rollers lead. Jamerson wants this one himself.
Does he? Is he going to look to pass, or is he shooting the ball here?
Jamerson goes to the rim,
Yeah,
puts it in with two hands.
God damn.
And that's the way to finish the
Jamerson.
quarter if you're the Rip City.
Okay, Jamison. God damn.
75-70. What a finish to the quarter for the Rip. Rollers up 5. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with some statistics in the final quarter of action here in your QBO Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back, everybody, to Carrara Indoor Stadium in the beautiful Gold Coast. Want to take this time to remind you, please, to visit the GoFundMe website and search Get Narelle Well. Please help Narelle Kelly and her family through a really difficult time for them. If you visit the GoFundMe website, search Get Narelle Well, make any and all contribution you can. Everything would be appreciated by Narelle and the Kelly family. They're going through some tough times, so please give any help that you possibly can. Coming back to the game here, gents. 5-point game, 10 minutes to go. It's got a similar feel to the women's game to me.
Sure does. Very similar.
Griffin picks up his dribble. Now gets it to Izzy Tueta.
Good offense.
Louis Hilton misses, but he's fouled.
It's a foul.
Sure is.
Calm down,
Can't
everyone.
complain about that.
All day.
And there was a nice set run there by Tueta. You saw him tell Louis Hilton dive to the basket, and he got him that look at the rim.
I feel like we've said this every week in the last month, that's for sure, but how long is Josh Tueta going to sit on the bench? Because defensively, he really adds a lot of grunt to them, and he's rebounding, and he's got 4. Can you survive on James Griffin and Toby Zaramba for a little bit?
I think you've got to try and survive as long as possible, even all the way down to the 3 or 4 minute mark. Because I'm not sure, this year has been much better, but I'm not sure he's got the best history of playing with foul trouble.
He doesn't, and I think that's fair, but I think they need his offense too.
I reckon if you can keep it at a 5 or 6 point game, you wait till the 3.5, 4 minute mark to put him back in. But if it gets out of double figures, he's coming in no matter what.
Parker gets inside, fadeaway jumper in and out.
Because this smaller unit, the pace should suit Rip City, and it's almost made the Gold Coast go small in a way. Jop's obviously a big body, so's Eustace, but...
Wow.
Jemerson turned it over.
Wow. Wow.
There's Selicic throwing it up, and it falls in. What a shot there by Selicic. Griffin, reverse layup is good.
There's some quality basketball out here at the moment. Goodness me.
A few tough baskets.
I saw Griffin warming up at halftime and before the game, and he's doing this underhand reverse lap, and I'm like, bro, practice game shots. Well, it was a game shot. I just didn't know.
Gee, there was a lot of contact on that last Jameson drive. The Gold Coast is putting on a couple of great games.
It's definitely finals basketball here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, the women getting it done.
Selicic off the back of the rim. Here's Bradley with it, up ahead for Jemerson. Now James Griffin, top of the key three, off the front of the rim.
It's a big shot.
It's a good looking shot. It was a good shot in trans.
To answer your question, Josh Tuetta's coming back into the game next whistle.
Oh,
Rose step back, no good.
Well,
We're getting a steady diet of Queen tonight, aren't we? We are Rocky, who's been on repeat.
Hey, you got Diop on Bradley. Rose has got to feed the big guy.
Izzy Tueta stops, pops, and hits.
That's pretty offense.
Rip down one. Here's Rose with it. Working against Bradley, 6 on the shot clock. Spins, leaves his feet, kicks it. Selicic 3 up. Off the back of the rim. Job can't handle the rebound. And Eustace comes down with it.
Let's go, LJ Rose.
Rose up top for Parker with 4 on the shot clock. Parker step back.
That's well defended. That's
Job
a violation.
doesn't get the shot off. Good defense there by Rip City.
I think you'll see Reese Martin coming in pretty quick again.
Substitution, Rip City.
This is an important few minutes here. I'm surprised Coach Arausi's going back to Josh Tueta this time. 7:20.
I'm surprised as well. This group's been doing well. Got back to a 1-point game. They're on a roll. Josh has obviously got foul trouble, but all year long he's been one of your main horses, so you got to go with him.
Timeout taken on the floor. We'll keep it here, though, gents. 77-76. If you're Coach Conlon, also, the bench hasn't been super effective tonight. Do you really look maybe going back to your starters and rolling with them? What do you think?
I think you go back to your experience. So I think Reese Martin, Petrie, and Thalo Green all need to finish the game. Just given their experience, their level head. They've been here before 100 times. That's who I'd be going to as we approach the last few minutes of this ball game.
And Dave, you're surprised with the way that this game has gone so far, 77-76, 7:20 to go in this one, a 1-point game?
No, not at all. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I would have thought the Gold Coast depth is too good. Plus, like I talked in the opener around the experience that Dan just pointed to, is when, again, you know, Green, Reese Martin, Petrie, etc., been around a long time, a lot of hoops. TJ Diop, really good player for a long time. And then you throw in Parker Rose. I mean, it's a really solid 5 main guys. And so I think, I just think they'll probably have enough experience to get home, especially due to the Rips shorthand bench. But you never know.
Can I please educate you guys real quick?
Yes, please.
I've had a message from Kat Hollis, beautiful lady, fan of the show, who says, please stop calling him Jop. It's D-Op. And then some frustration afterwards.
Yeah, well, sorry.
You're educated. Thank you, Kat.
Thanks for that.
Hope you're enjoying the expert commentary.
Eustace 3 is off. Falls to Parker though, and he lays it in. Izzy Twetta gets inside, little teardrop, no good. LJ Rose with the rebound, he puts on the Jets. Kicks it for Eustace, it's a turnover. Here's Bradley behind his back to Jemerson, layup, no good. Oh! Parker got caught sleeping on the way up the wing. Three-point game, 6:20 left in this one. Louis Hilton puts it on the floor, turns it over. LJ Rose gonna settle down, hand back to Reese Martin. Parker kicks it, Rose in the corner, pump fake, dumps it off for Parker. Parker gets inside, little teardrop in and out. Tipped around, Hilton comes down with it. Josh Twetta fouled from behind by Eustace. It's the second team foul.
Look, he should be getting 2 shots, right? Because what else was he doing?
Petrie and Thalo Green check in for Parker and Diop. Jemerson catches it deep. Working against Thalo Green. Skips it, Louis Hilton thought about it, then puts it on the floor, goes right at Eustace, misses.
He's just forcing it. Well defended from Eustace as well. Again, it's just ball sticking on one side of the floor. They really got to move the ball, get some more reversals for the Rip.
I think Rip are doing a great job of at least attacking the rim, not selling for jump shots, but you're right, Dave. It's got to come off ball reversal because at the moment the Gold Coast defense is just too set for them to get any effective looks down there.
Petrie fadeaway, misses. Here's Jemerson with it. We're under 5 to go. It's a 3-point game. Bradley dumps it off for Josh Twetta. Fires a 3. It's good.
Very capable.
Tied at 79.
Very capable three-point shooter.
Big 3.
And that's good offense. And we've said it 100 times. Jemerson got his feet in the paint. Bradley did the same. Collapses the D, and you get a wide open look to Josh Twetta, who's good enough to knock it down.
Reese Martin leaves his feet, finds Eustace. They reverse it now. Rose swings it to Petrie. Petrie driving baseline right to the rim.
Well
misses.
defended.
Fires it. It's a shot clock violation. The shot went in. I thought it looked good, actually, to be fair, but
too.
it's hard
I'm
to
going to
tell.
disagree with both of you and say that it was definitely a shot clock violation. Hadn't quite left the tip of the fingers.
The party box over there next to the Rip bench are a bit disappointed it got waved off.
Well, it's at 79 all. Rip have an opportunity to take a lead if they can get a bucket or a free throw.
Well, both.
Jemerson puts it up and in, and they're up 2 on a strong move to the basket by Jaren Jameson. Thalo Green in deep, kicks it out. LJ Rose 3 is open, and it's good. Gold Coast retakes the lead. Bradley coming off the screen, finds Hilton in the corner. Hilton driving baseline, blocked by Parker. A lot of contact.
Yeah, a whole lot of contact.
Rose hands off, Petrie left hand layup is good. And Coach Nathan Arouzi is going to take a timeout. So we're going to take one as well. 3:18 to go in this game. And it's the Rollers up 3, 84-81. The QBL quarterfinal game of the week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at Carrara Indoor Stadium on the Gold Coast. It's 84-81. Rollers up by 3 on Rip City with 3:18 to go in this one. This one's going to come right down to the end, much like the girls' game.
Too much standing around here, too much ISO ball. That's not how Rip City have got themselves ahead in this game. Ugly possession.
Really ugly out of the timeout. Well defended by Gold Coast. And again, Martin will just take the air out of the ball here, be really patient.
Got to get a good look if you're the Rollers, though. Don't want to force anything. Martin inside pass stolen by Ilton, well defended by Louis. Bradley nearly lost it, gets it over to Izzy Tueta. Now Josh Tueta working against Petrie, kicks it to his brother
shot.
Izzy. It's off the back of the rim. Big rebound there by Green. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. There's 6 on the shot clock. Rose kicks it. Thalo Green in the corner. 3 is up. And it's good. Thalo Green pushes the lead out to 6.
Let's go, Broncos. Defense. Defense.
Jamerson blocked by Petrie.
Wow.
Defense.
Oh my God.
Then he throws a blind pass to Bradley, who wasn't expecting it. And Louis Ilton gets called for an unsportsmanlike foul. He made no play at the ball.
I was not looking at it, but he seemed to think he was ahead of the ball.
It doesn't matter so much anymore about being ahead of the ball. There's new unsportsmanlike rules that have come into play as of this season, where if you don't make a direct attempt at the ball, no matter what, it is automatically an unsportsmanlike foul. So it's no longer about anyone being ahead of the ball. If you don't play at it, it is unsportsmanlike straight away. No, there was no play at the ball on that one. So with 1:34 to go in a close game, it's sucky, but it's 100% the right call.
I thought he had a bit of a lame hack at the ball, but
Got to sell it better, Hank.
possibly.
But I think, forget that call for a second, the last 2 possessions out of a timeout for the Rip have been really ugly. And they've got themselves in this position where they were down, well, up even a minute ago, but down just a bucket. Now they're down 6 with foul shots in possession to come. That's a tough position to be in, but they've been playing this beautiful freestyle, moving the ball, cutting, getting feet in the paint top offense. The last 2 possessions, they've just been stuck in mud, resulted in 2 turnovers, and now they're going to face an uphill battle to pull this off.
Well, these are a couple big free throws coming out of this timeout for Gold Coast. You got to think they hit those 2 with possession. They're in a pretty favorable position.
Yeah, lots of fouls to give too. So,
Well, if they hit these 2 foul shots, 89 points. 89 points is enough to win, given the time left in the game. So if they can convert these, it's going to be, as long as they're smart managing the clock, it's going to be hard work for the Rip.
A couple big ones here for Spencer Parker. First one's no good.
Let's go, Spence.
His first miss of the night from the free throw line. Second one, that's good. So it's a 7-point lead, 1:34 to go, and it's Gold Coast ball on the sideline. Parker inbounds and turns it over. Bradley catches it, goes right at the defense, layup, no good.
Oh my God.
Dunk missed by Louis Ilton.
That's 5 fouls on Josh, if it is. Oh, it's
no,
not a
it's
foul.
out of bounds.
It's out of
Yeah.
bounds.
Louis tried to tip dunk it, just catch it and lay it up. Don't need to jam it.
Let's hold on to this Gold Coast. Here we go, roller dog.
Getting real physical inside too.
Let's hear it. Defense. Defense.
Tueta inside to Josh Tueta. Layup is good.
2 possession game.
I thought they'd pick up full court. They're not going to do it just yet. 88-83.
Oh.
The double was coming. Parker has it now.
Don't need to foul
They
here
don't,
for the
they
rip.
do not
No.
need, they don't want to
Petrie.
at all.
3. That's the dagger. Or is it? 91-83. Gold Coast up 8. Bradley's pass turned over.
Unbelievable hands.
Minute to go. Rip gonna have to pick up full court. Josh Sweat and Anthony Petrie. Love getting under people's skins. It's always interesting when you have two guys like that going at it. Petrie and Tueta having a good chat.
I love basketball
In close
fights.
range.
Neither of them are going to do a single thing, but still happy to talk and bump shoulders.
Martin breaks the press. Rip gonna have to do some trapping or something here to try and force another turnover. LJ Rose fouled from behind.
And usually it's a good job not being in foul trouble, but the Rip have got plenty of fouls to give before they get the ball back here. That's only their second foul for the quarter, I think.
Well, that was Louis Ilton's 5th personal, so he's done. James Griffin gonna check in.
You'll be in Brisbane, all right.
We'll see. We'll see. 91-83.
That's a great point, DD.
Gold Coast just going to work the clock. 6 on the clock. Rose, teardrop is good. The icing on the cake. And it was a valiant effort by Rip, but got to give credit where credit's due. Gold Coast took care of business in this one. It wasn't always the prettiest of matchups. And there's a blocking foul, but Gold Coast got some timely buckets, played some really good defense. I think they really turned the screws on defensively after that first quarter and really made Rip work for every single basket they had. And it was been a really impressive performance from Gold Coast.
Yeah, defensively, great physicality from the Gold Coast crew, and they've done a great job.
Oh, what is going on here?
Well, Josh, they
This
got
is ridiculous, man.
a double tech, so Tueta's been fouled out.
I mean, they've been warned enough times. I mean, like, seriously, how many warnings do you have to give grown adults to just stop acting like children, and they're still doing it?
I think.
But what's achieved by calling a double tick with 21 seconds left, other than Josh getting out of the game?
Yeah, nothing's going to be achieved.
Men are going to talk
Seven
trash. That's
7
sport.
points
it's
to go.
competitive sport. Guys are
Yeah.
going to talk to each other. There's no problem in talking. If they start hitting and bumping, fair enough, but they're just talking. Like that makes no sense.
Well, in a way, maybe he knows that Tueta is going to foul out with the tech. Maybe so things don't get out of hand. So,
The question is, though, if they did call a technical foul, right?
Double
tech.
Double tech.
Petrie and
Ah,
Josh.
okay. I missed the double aspect. I'm like, why didn't we have a free throw?
Yeah.
I
Dave,
missed
do
the
you want
double.
to bring up your point from earlier before I steal your thunder?
Well,
Two?
well,
Okay, yours. You got it.
Well, Petrie did run the sideline on a non-score, so that's a that's a travel or a
He ran the
violation.
baseline.
He ran the baseline.
You have 1 meter in one direction when it's not after a basket.
1
I reckon
meter.
I reckon he
One,
took
mi- one
3 or
meter
4
in,
steps.
Yeah.
It's 1 meter
So
in one direction.
That would have been a travelling violation. Rip City on the baseline. I'm sure it didn't change the outcome of the game,
No.
but Eagle Eyes over here picked it up.
that's going to
Yeah, good win for the Gold Coast.
really good win. And you look at some of the results across the evening. We know Brisbane won. Looks like Rockhampton won. Gold Coast seemingly going to pull this one out. So what's
Rocky.
Townsville and Mackay. Let's see.
Rocky won, right? So
Does that mean the men's semis are
Townsville won as well, so
at Brisbane at the Gold Coast next weekend?
should be, yeah.
How's that for Southeast Queensland?
So
pretty awesome.
I think the way that it'll work out is Brisbane will host Rockhampton, I believe.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Gold Coast will host Townsville.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, can we get a little Friday, Saturday action?
So, I mean, Josh was here. I don't know where he is. He better put the word in with the new COO of Basketball Queensland, Dave.
Is that because you want to call both games, Dave, or is that because you just want to be able to watch both games if you're a fan of basketball?
Both.
I'm with you.
But it's been a great 2 games here
Punch
tonight
it.
as Jamerson using another 2-hand jam. But credit where credit's due. The Gold Coast Rollers host 2
Dunk
games.
it!
And they win 2 games. And 2 solid performances for the Gold Coast Rollers. And it goes to show you, Dave, when things are going well on the Gold Coast, the crowds come out and show their support.
Yeah, great crowd, and 2 good wins for the Gold Coast men and women, and a really great job for the Rip. Good season. I mean, they were a really tough 7 seed, and just that offensive execution stuff we talked a little bit about is where they can improve, and that's really what it comes down to. And for the Gold Coast, they showed all the qualities of a championship contender. They defended when they needed to, they scored when they needed to, and they overall stayed calm and got it done.
Yeah, it was really good, really solid effort from Rip also. I thought they played as well as you could expect them to play, being pretty short-handed and didn't lack in that depth in the front court. They should be proud of themselves as well.
I agree. I mean, they were almost out of the playoffs a month ago. So to go on the run they did to finish the season, to come in here as a 7 seed was great, and then to come in and push a really good Gold Coast team the way they did tonight, they should be very proud of themselves. And I do agree with you, John. I think they were just 1 player short of being a real contender. And if they had an extra big even, they would have really given it an extra push tonight. Just that extra depth would have helped, but give them all the credit in the world. They did great. Coach Rousey's done a really great job for the last few years with them, especially this year. So big things from them, from a fairly small association. They should be very proud of themselves, and their women's team as well. Both of them have done great.
Yeah.
But the Gold Coast, I think, showed tonight that they've got the depth and the experience to really give this thing a push.
So Brisbane versus Rockhampton next week, and Gold Coast versus Townsville for the semifinals and a grand final spot on the line. You couldn't ask. Those are some great matchups. How do you see Gold Coast matching up with Townsville, Dave?
Well, I mean, firstly, let's give Townsville a bit of love for the win, because I didn't pick it. I thought no PC, no Anderson, Mackay would get it done. So terrific win for Townsville, and hopefully PC is back. Anderson, I'm assuming, is not. So that'll add a little bit to their team. They'll be feeling confident. I mean, it'll be a really good team. Both really experienced squads. So yeah, the Gold Coast have the home court, and that's really important.
Yeah, with a crowd like this, that can make a real difference, and it'll be a really, really good matchup. Who knows where we'll be? We'll see. We'll find out soon. But either way, going to be a couple of great semifinal games for the men and also for the women. You got Spartans, Gold Coast, Townsville, and Ipswich. So Spartans versus Ipswich, and Gold Coast will have to travel up to Townsville. And just some awesome basketball coming up. Some awesome quarterfinals here today and across the state, and the semifinals to look forward to. Regan, your final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Yeah, look, a really great game out on the floor, and Gold Coast just, they had it. They looked a little bit, hesitant there late in that second quarter and early third, but they really fought their way to get back into it. And USC, they just, that handbrake was just on a tiny bit in the fourth, but an amazing game, and this is exactly why they made the top 8 and made it in the quarterfinals. So, as you said, Johnny G, a lot of really exciting action there next week. I'll obviously be going and following the women's semifinals. Who knows where at this stage? But you guys are going to have an absolutely great time in the men's comp, because no matter which game you do, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Guys, any final thoughts before I wrap it up? All good?
I think we're all good.
All right, sweet. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an awesome one. I do have to thank Regan Baker on the production, the commentary, and the referee analysis. I got to thank former Siebel All-Star MVP, champion, everything, Dan George, former Pirates coach, player, captain, everything, Dave Derwin, Chris Sieber on the camera work, and of course James Bowman in the Australian Sports Network for all their technical support and graphics as well. Thank you everyone for tuning in to another presentation of QBL Basketball, brought to you by Nothing But Net Media.